To our YouTube channel,
Cloud
Kolu. So we got some good feedback from the last time, right?
Yeah.
So there was some good, like people respond to us, people commented us, give us personally called us and told us to do this in English.
Yeah, so they have a requirements or like I thought that we have some good views from English countries as well.
Yeah.
I think since we are based in New Zealand, I think there's a algorithm running in the backend, so you know us, right? So there was a request for us to cover like the career path and how to get into this career. So we are going to cover that today.
Yeah. So that's the main discussion that we're going to do today. And like he mentioned, we had a good feedback from the guys. And we also know like a lot of people who are coming from overseas.
Yeah.
And like want to learn about this cloud. So we thought of letting them know what we know.
So I think we didn't do an introduction in English, right? So
That's
some
right.
guys might not understand Sinhalese. So yeah, Hasya, tell me about yourself.
Yeah, so myself, I'm working as a cloud support engineer for like a cloud provider, well-known provider. We'll talk about that in later. I got like a 5 years experience in working on this cloud, touching the commands and playing with these tools. What about you, Nuwan?
Yeah, so my name is Nuwan. So I have around 10 to 12 years experience with IT and have like from 2017 I have like experience with cloud. So I'm currently working as a security consultant in for a bank in New Zealand. So that's me.
Yeah, that's us. So let's talk about this cloud. I think we will conduct more about this cloud and what other things. But to someone to start in cloud journey, what are the basic things they need to know about?
Yeah. So right. So when you start a career, you might not know everything, right? So there should be a starting point that you need to get into, right? So in IT, basically you need to have a good understanding about operating system. It might be Windows, it might be Linux, but I think that knowledge should be there so that you can like get a start. And the services that it provides, maybe AD, DNS, DHCP, kind of basic services. And then you have databases, and then you have networking, and like lot of stuff are there. But I think better start with the operating system.
Cool. I will just add another point what he discussed, programming languages.
Yes.
I think if you know a bit of like a Python or like PowerShell, it will be very crucial to
Bash
scripting. It will be good to get into the cloud computing.
Yeah. So not only for cloud, basically. So anything to do with IT, you need to have a little bit of understanding of those things, basically.
Yeah, the concepts and what the theories behind it.
Yes.
I think if you like formally, I know some people might transition their jobs from other roles into the cloud. So basically, getting to know these kind of things would be ideal. Yeah, it will be good to go.
Yeah, it doesn't matter whether you are a support engineer who are doing like desktop work, or maybe you are an endpoint end user support.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, right? So you need to have a clear starting point, I think. So better to do some understanding on the operating systems, servers, and the basic services and stuff. I think that would be a better point of start.
Yeah. That's right. So also when we talk about cloud, there are some cloud providers who are major players, right? So can you tell us like a couple of major players in this industry?
Yeah, so there are, I think, 3 major players and like 4 or 5 other players as well. So if you take the major players who are AWS, that's Amazon Web Services, Azure, which is the Microsoft offering, and we have Google Cloud, and
our favorite, Alibaba.
Alibaba Cloud.
So that is something that's coming up.
And Oracle. You can't remember. Yeah, you need to remember that as well. So,
that's totally like there might be more providers back when you watch these videos, and they're like very small providers who are.
SLT Arcasa,
like that,
and Dialog Cumulus.
Yeah,
we remember you guys.
Yeah. So pretty sure that 100%. So let's talk about some careers, right? Like when you say cloud, what are the careers they can work on? What are the careers they can do their work and stuff?
So when it comes to cloud, you have like, if you start from top, you have the cloud architects, then you have the cloud administrators, then you have cloud consultants, you have security engineers, you have software engineers, and you have DevOps consultants, and there's like many job titles if you take it, but yeah, they mostly they work on the same things, but yeah, in different levels basically.
Yeah, I think it's on the companies they're different, what are the teams
Yes.
they are, and the role what you get into is different.
Yeah.
Sometimes you call DevOps engineers, sometimes they call SREs.
And there's automation engineers,
and I think previously everyone knows about this system engineer, but with the cloud now it's like cloud engineer.
Yeah, I think the titles are actually changing all the time. So there's like new titles coming in, but they do basically the same thing. But just add on some like few additional stuff into the mix and sprinkle that on. So yeah.
It's like if you get into this cloud industry, you will see the cloud architect will still do the system side designing, and
exactly, and they might do the endpoint execution as well. So yeah, you have to know everything and do everything.
That's right. So I think basically these days, if you look on job industry, if you go on for example, we both in New Zealand, and if you look for the website called JobSeek or TradeMe or Indeed, you will see like the titles and the job descriptions and the job role duties. They will talk about a bit of these cloud providers certifications. Like for example, I've seen some government industries use Azure, and they ask if you could some Azure certification, that would be nice.
Yeah. So when it comes to Microsoft certifications, there's like few layers.
Yeah.
So you have the fundamentals, you have the administrator level, and you have the architect level. That's the basic tiers of Microsoft certifications. So if you talk about the Azure Cloud, the basic IaaS stuff and the basic services stuff, you have the AZ900, which is the fundamentals one, and then you have Azure Administrator, that's AZ104, that's the basic administrator level stuff, and then you have AZ305 and AZ304 as I remember. So that's the administrator kind of architect level one.
Man, so you guys know when he talk about this Azure certification with the code, he knows a lot of stuff about this Azure. So basically, I think what he said.
Yeah.
It's good to start with the fundamentals and work from
So in the Microsoft certifications, if you talk about that, you have basic levels that you need to complete to do the other one. And I think that's the same thing with AWS as well.
Yeah, I'll just talk about this AWS side. So I think the Azure fundamentals, we got this something called Cloud Practitioner, which is the foundation level that you need to do. I think that will be good to be a starting point.
I think that's the fundamental, the basic one of AWS.
That's the equivalent for certainly right. So doing that, you will get an idea of what are the services, what you could be using, and what you could use for your whatever the user case you got.
Yeah.
So breaking down, like he's mentioned, I don't know the code, but basically, you got the associate levels, you got the
architect levels,
the professional and the specialties.
Yeah, the specialist ones are basically it's the same kind of division when it comes to AWS, Azure, and Google as well, because they have specialties for networking, security, and DevOps, and there are specialties as well for those certifications as well.
That's right.
So yeah. But you need to do the main basic ones first, and then only better to move on to that. And it doesn't matter if you do the specialty somehow, but you need to do the basics first.
That's all right. So basically, like he mentioned, I think in AWS you got 12 certificate. If you do the whole 12, you get a golden jacket. I think that's privilege you get. I've seen a couple of people who are wearing this gold jacket. And make sure when you do the certificates, you know what your stuffs are.
Exactly.
Because people will ask you questions, and if you don't know,
it doesn't matter if you have the certificates, you will fail the interview basically, so you won't get the job.
Yeah, that's right. So make sure when you do certificate, do it in the right way, learn the fundamentals, and try to apply those things on the user cases and stuff.
Yeah.
So another thing that when we're looking for cloud jobs, I think you might have worked personally. You need to do some user cases and do some testing, some deployments, develop things on your lab environment.
Yeah.
So anyone who's starting with this cloud, I think students or anyone who looking to do, it's good to do this
Yeah.
projects, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have any idea of what kind of projects they could do or any
So
suggestions?
it comes to basically like I would suggest to start from the basic stuff like the IS part.
Yeah.
So maybe deploy a VM and maybe deploy another server and how you connect those two.
Yeah.
And then maybe deploy a web server and deploy a like BBC service and connect those two and maybe publish that website and like do some connectivity part and do some maybe basic like port blocking and those things as well. So those things would be a good starting point for people so that they can get an understanding of how the cloud works, because basically how the networking happens,
Yeah.
how the traffic flows, and those things would be the basic stuff. Then you can go up into like maybe load balancing and maybe firewalls and yeah, you
Just
can
so much things, right?
Yeah.
I will just only add one thing. So when you do something, make sure you document what you do. Because, like, example, if you whatever setting up a VM, write down the steps how you did it. And like, for example, they're like open source, you could write in a Google Docs or Medium, what's a nice way.
Yeah.
And then publish what your findings are, what are things you did. So that will be good for your documentation stuff.
Yeah, and the cloud changes every day, right? It's not the same that it might change from today to tomorrow, right? It might be different. So if you have that basic understanding on how the thing actually works,
Yeah.
that fundamentals won't change, but maybe the buttons that you click or the code that you run might be different, but it would be the basic thing, the base underlayer will be the same.
Yeah, that's right. So the document part will be good for you to understand and you referring back in later. And also when you're doing an interview, you could say this is the things I have done and this is the proof that you have done it.
Yeah.
And that's good for you to share the knowledge. Sharing is caring always, all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
And so we talk about, going back. So we talk about what are things you need to know about cloud.
Yeah.
Learning pathways and what are the jobs that you could find in career.
Yeah.
And I think we won't talk about the salaries and what are things because it depends on each country.
Yeah, for New Zealand, I think Hayes publish the salary scale for each job. So it doesn't mean that you get that job, right? It depends on the company, it depends on the experience that you have, depends on so many like other factors as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And you need to remember there's always tax.
Taxman is behind you all the time. So make sure like you can do your own research on which country you are watching the video.
Yeah.
Just see what other pay scales are depending on the country, and you can always look for other countries too. And like in one state, you can look on a Hastings and sites. You can check the salary levels.
And one thing to add is like most companies has a basic salary for each kind of title. So if you don't request that exact amount, they will basically give you that base amount anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a requirement.
And the this is the last one.
Yeah.
So we talk about this stuff. So where we could learn this cloud. So I know that there's like a lot of YouTube stuff to learn and courses and stuff. What do you prefer? Do you prefer videos or doing actual environment?
So coming from the Microsoft end of the world, I would mostly do some reading on learn.microsoft.com, which was docs.microsoft, which was the earlier version.
Yeah.
So I would do some basic reading on the stuff and basically run it on my own personal cloud so that I know how it works and stuff, and then only deploy.
That's right. Make sure when you're running on you got a budget set.
Yes.
And you can go over budget.
We will talk about that in the later episode. Yeah.
And going back to the one thing he said, like you can always refer documentation, YouTube, and play hard. Do it on web. So it's so much things to discuss in one video.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good starting point, and we will go through this career path, this cloud journey with you in the next episode and coming episode. I think just to sum up everything, I think like our videos, share our videos, and subscribe, and also we value your feedback. And if you need to get something from us, make sure you comment us.
Yeah, just put it in a comment, and we also have a Discord server as well. You can add that comments as well. We'll probably publish the Facebook page.
That's something that we discussed. We're gonna do it, but we still haven't done it.
We'll do it.
We'll do it definitely this time. So watch our videos. Let us know what you think about us.
Like and subscribe.
Subscribe. That's right. So this is our video for today, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
And we'll talk next
See you
time.
later, guys. Yeah, cheers.
Cloud Call.
Subscribe to the name. Couple of
So I think this has come to the end of the video, right? So
Yeah.
basically, give us feedback what you think about our videos, and make sure you subscribe,
Click subscribe.
like he said, and also like and share the video with your friends, and also share this one who interested to learn in the cloud, and make sure you tag your friend who want to learn about cloud, and always make sure you put a comment. We always read the comments, and we will like to do other
Yeah.
things too.
And we have the Discord server as well, and we will soon publish our Facebook page as well. So if you want to learn some new technologies, or if you have some questions that you need to ask us, you can just comment. We will also go through all the comments and all the things that you need, and then we can create the content within that area, and so that we can answer your queries and stuff. So like and subscribe.
Yeah, like that. So this is our video. See you guys
Later.
later.